Picture this, you're absolutely starving, right? You grab what you think is a healthy granola bar because the box is screaming all natural, high fiber, made with real fruit. You feel pretty virtuous, like you just won the morning. Well, hold that thought, because what if I told you that very bar, the one you just high-fived yourself for choosing, has 23 ingredients you can't even pronounce, and the same sugar load as 2 full-on chocolate chip cookies. Yeah, in the next several minutes, you're going to learn why that bar isn't really food. It's an ultra-processed science project, a Frankenstein's monster of ingredients designed to trick your taste buds and hijack your biology. And it keeps the dietitians awake at night. Trust me, stay to the very end and I'll arm you with the 3-second supermarket trick that makes spotting these edible imposters effortless. You'll thank me later. Section 1. Why the labels lie. Walk into any grocery aisle. Seriously, just take a stroll and you'll see the word processed slapped like a scarlet letter on everything from canned beans to frozen peas to your hummus. Most of us, let's be honest, just lump everything packaged into one giant guilt pile and call it a day. And guess what? Big food marketers absolutely love that confusion. They're banking on you thinking a simple canned peach packed in its own juice without any added sugar is morally equivalent to a neon orange puff that probably turns your fingers radioactive and has a shelf life longer than your car loan. Here's the inconvenient truth. Processing isn't a binary good or bad thing. It's a vast spectrum, and only the far end of that spectrum, the ultra-processing end, carries a truly heavy, healthy price. If you can't tell the difference, if you're just blindly avoiding everything in a box, you'll end up swapping out perfectly decent, nutritious food for nothing and still wind up overweight, inflamed, and wondering why your clean eating failed you. It's not your fault, it's the system. Section 2, the 4 degrees of processing. So how do we cut through the noise? Nutrition scientists actually have a pretty slick 4-step scale called NOVA that clarifies everything. Group 1, this is the good stuff, unprocessed or minimally tweaked. Think of a fresh apple, a bag of pre-cut apple slices, or even an apple you just stuck in a lunchbox for later. It's still pretty much as nature intended. Group 2, these are processed culinary ingredients. We're talking butter, olive oil, salt, things you use to cook with or as a condiment or dressing, not necessarily eat on their own, but they're essential. Group 3, processed foods. This is where things get a little more involved, but still totally fine. Imagine that apple simmered into applesauce, maybe with a tiny pinch of ascorbic acid, basically vitamin C, just to keep it from browning and looking unappetizing. No added sugar, it's still basically an apple, it's just in a different form. You recognize all of the components. Group 4, and there's the danger zone, ultra processed. This is where the apple goes to die and gets resurrected as something else entirely. You might get apple flavor, appleish smell, but zero actual apple. Instead, you're getting maltodextrin, corn syrup solids, artificial esters, gums, and red dye that stains your kid's tongue for 2 days. That's not food. That's a chemistry experiment in a pretty package. Section 3, what ultra-processed really means. Ultra-processed foods aren't just modified, they're industrial formulations stitched together from cheap starches, sugars, and fats. They're welded with a whole arsenal of emulsifiers, flavorings, and shelf life extenders. These aren't just foods, they're edible algorithms meticulously crafted by food scientists in labs. They're engineered to hit your bliss point, that perfect combination of fat, sugar, and salt that lights up your brain like a Christmas tree and keeps you coming back for more, even when you're not hungry. They practically melt in your mouth, vanishing almost instantly before your brain even gets the memo that you've eaten anything at all. A single packaged pastry can contain 30 additives you never ever cooked with in your own kitchen. Seriously, if your great-grandmother wouldn't recognize it as food, if she would look at it and say, "What in tarnation is that?" it's probably ultra-processed. Section 4, the body on ultra. Now let's talk about what happens when this stuff hits your body. A groundbreaking 2019 NIH study actually locked adults in a metabolic ward for 2 weeks. They controlled everything, same calories, same macros, but one group ate ultra-processed meals while the other got minimally processed dishes. The results were shocking. The ultra group ate an extra 500 calories a day, mostly carbs and fat, and gained 2 pounds in just 14 days. And here's the kicker, they weren't even trying to eat more. Flip the script, and volunteers lost weight just by switching to less processed meals. No tracking, no calorie counting required. Translation, these products aren't just bad for you, they actively hack your hormones, crack your insulin through the roof, and leave you feeling hungrier an hour later. This isn't about willpower, folks. These foods actively mess with your body's natural hunger and fulfillment signals. Chronic exposure to this stuff doubles your risks of type 2 diabetes and hikes cardiovascular death by a staggering 62%, according to a massive BMJ meta-analysis tracking 100,000 people for a decade. This isn't a joke. This is a serious health crisis. Section 5. The addiction angle. Ever polish off a family-sized bag of chips, then immediately scour the pantry like a raccoon, desperately searching for more? Yeah, that's by design. Ultra-processed foods deliver a speed delivery combo of refined starch, fat, and salt that spikes dopamine in your brain the same way nicotine does. Brain imaging studies at Yale have shown that the reward response for these foods mirrors substance use patterns. Think about it. Have you ever seen anyone binge on broccoli? No, right? But that family-sized bag of chips, gone in 10 minutes. And suddenly, you're rummaging through the pantry like a maniac, desperately searching for another fix. That's not a lack of self-control. That's a sophisticated delivery system of refined starch, fat, and salt hitting your brain's reward centers with the force of a nicotine hit. Quitting soda can trigger withdrawal headaches after 48 hours. Kale rarely does that. Just saying. Section 6. Big food tricks that fool even smart shoppers. The food industry isn't playing fair. They plaster high protein on breakfast cereal that lists sugar as ingredient number 1. They tint packaging green so your subconscious whispers nature, even if the product inside is anything but. They'll slap contains whole grains on a box of sugary cereal, even if the whole grain is ingredient number 7, after 3 different types of sugar. They lobby relentlessly to keep added sugar lines buried halfway down the nutrition label, hoping you won't scroll that far. They fund small bias studies claiming a calorie is a calorie, which sure is true in a bomb calorimeter, but absolutely not in a complex human body. The more confused you are, the more profitable you become for them. It's a cynical game, but you can learn to play it better. Section 7. 3-second supermarket scan. Alright, how do you fight back? Here's that 3-second supermarket trick I promised you. It's ridiculously simple, yet incredibly powerful. Ready? Flip the package, count the ingredient list. If it's longer than say 5 lines, or if it contains anything you can't picture having in your own kitchen pantry, like sodium aluminosilicate or butylated hydroxyanisole, set it back down. Walk away. There's only 3 one-syllable exceptions to the rule. Salt, water, and oil. That's it. It takes 3 seconds, maybe 4, but it will save you years of metabolic damage, potential health issues, and a whole lot of confusion. Seriously, try it. Section 8. Simple swaps that stick. Okay, so you've identified the imposters. What do you eat instead? It's easier than you think. Morning swap. Those frosted flakes for a quick cook oats you microwave with frozen berries, and it's faster, it's cheaper, and it actually keeps you full. Lunch. Trade the deli turkey and cheese combo, which, let's be real, is often reconstituted turkey loaf, for hummus and carrot and celery sticks. Dinner. Replace that frozen lasagna with a bag of pre-washed spinach, a can of crushed tomatoes, and a pack of gnocchi that actually lists potatoes and flour as its main ingredients. You can whip that up in 12 minutes, flat. Seriously. Dessert. Forget the processed stuff. Stir pure cocoa powder and a spoonful of peanut butter into plain coconut cream. You've just cloned a Reese's for 1/4 of the sugar and 10 times the protein. You're welcome. And bonus points if you actually use organic materials. If you're finding this useful, if your mind is even a little bit blown right now, hit the subscribe right now. Seriously, do it. Every single week I put up healthy living videos so you don't have to sit through all the confusing, conflicting science. While you're at it, smash the like button so that the algorithm shows this to someone who still thinks fruit snacks count as fruit. Let's spread the word, people. Section 9. Can processed ever be healthy? So does this mean that all processed food is bad? Absolutely not. Frozen peas, peanut butter, store-bought hummus, all processed, all perfectly fine, and often incredibly convenient and nutritious. The key isn't to fear all processing. It's about understanding its purpose. If processing makes the food safer, more accessible, or adds genuine nutrition, like fortifying plant-based milk with vitamin B12 and D, then it's a win. If it simply preserves food, like flash frozen strawberries to lock in its nutrients, it earns a spot in your cart. Problems start when the process strips fiber and micronutrients, then injects sugar, salt, and weird chemicals for crunch, color, or an unnaturally long shelf life. McDonald's fries last years without changing, but then again, it has 19 ingredients. Focus on the degree of processing and its purpose, not just the word process itself. It's about nuance. Section 10, the budget argument. But ultra-processed food is cheap. I hear you. A box of mac and cheese costs $1, feeds 2 kids. True, but let's look at the real math. A 5-pound sack of potatoes costs $3, feeds 10 people, and comes packed with potassium, vitamin C, and fiber. Add a $2 bag of frozen broccoli, and you've just built a dinner that completely undercuts the drive-through dinner dollar menu and doesn't mortgage your arteries in the process. Yeah, that dollar menu burger seems cheap right now, but what's the long-term cost of your health, your energy, your doctor bills? Bulk beans, oats, and nuts. These humble heroes consistently beat almost every packaged snack per calorie and per nutrient. It's not just cheaper, it's smarter. You're investing in yourself. Section 11, kids in the trap early. This is a big one. The average American toddler gets a shocking 60% of their calories from ultra-processed sources. Think about that for a second. By kindergarten, their taste preferences are already cemented for ultra-sweet, ultra-soft, ultra-palatable textures. Translation: the cereal you pour this morning isn't just breakfast, it's a blueprint for their health and for metabolic destiny. We're literally programming our kids' taste buds from infancy to crave the hyper-palatable, ultra-sweet, ultra-soft textures of ultra-processed foods. The good news, studies from University College London show that kids' palates can actually reset in as little as 5 weeks when you consistently swap in simple whole foods. It's not too late. Start tonight. Section 12. The world is catching on. And it's not just individuals waking up. Whole countries are getting wise to this. Brazil bans ultra-processed foods in schools. Chile slaps black octagon warning labels like a skull and crossbones on food high in sugar, salt, and fat. France cuts subsidies to manufacturers of ultra-processed snacks. Meanwhile, in the U.S. is still spending taxpayer dollars buying surplus cheese puffs for school lunch commodity programs. It's wild. Your consumer choices absolutely matter, but so does your vote. Pressure your local reps, your school boards, to follow this global shift. We deserve better, and our kids deserve better. Section 13, practical roadmap for the next 7 days. Okay, so where do you start? Here's a simple, actionable roadmap for the next 7 days. This isn't some crazy diet plan. It's practical. This is a practical, week-long experiment that will fundamentally shift how you feel, how you sleep, and how you see food. Day 1, audit your pantry with the 3-second rule. Trash or donate anything that fails the test. Get rid of the obvious culprits. Day 2, replace breakfast. Test drive those overnight oats. See how long they keep you full. Day 3, swap soda for sparkling water plus citrus slices. You'll still get the fizz, but without the sugar bomb. Day 4, batch cook a big pot of lentil soup. Portion it into jars for easy grab and go meals. Day 5, repeat the soup for lunch. Notice you're not crashing at 3 p.m. like usual. That's your blood sugar stabilizing. Day 6, Try that potato broccoli dinner. Simple, satisfying, and shockingly delicious. Day 7. Weigh yourself. Check your energy levels and realize you've likely dropped a pound or two without counting a single calorie. Most viewers who stick to this week report clearer skin and deeper sleep before the scale even budges. It's a game changer. Remember, you simply cannot outrun a factory-made cookie designed by PhDs whose bonus depends on you eating the whole sleeve. It's a rigged game, but once you spot the shocking difference between processed and ultra-processed, once you have that knowledge, you've reclaimed control. It's 3 seconds, one flip of the package, and you're free. If this video opened your eyes, if it made you think, please share it with someone who still brags about their healthy protein muffin that lists 27 ingredients. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss anything. To continue your healthy journey, 2 videos will pop up and you can click on any of them and continue that journey. Until then, keep your ingredients real and your pantry fearless. You've got this. See you next time.